Hello, Christina's World Kitchen. I'm Christina Martinez Williams, and I'm going to bake some cookies tonight. It is 7 o'clock. We've eaten our dinner, and these cookies were inspired when I created them. They were inspired by Mexican hot chocolate. So first, if you like cookies, put cookies in the comments. Make sure to give me a thumbs up, hearts, share this video because I know you're gonna love these and you're gonna want to try them. Save it, and these are cinnamon and chocolate. They are cinnamon and chocolate, which I don't know if you've ever had Abuelita's hot chocolate. It's like a little disc of cacao that is like a Mexican hot chocolate brand. It says Abuelita on the outside, which means grandmother. And it is, or grandma, really, or Grammy, that type of endearing way of saying it. And it's hot chocolate. It's like you melt it in a pot and then you add it to your milk. But it has cinnamon flavor in it, and it can be sometimes that particular doesn't. It's just cinnamon and sugar. So it tastes sweet. I'm gonna also make mine a little spicy. You can choose to take out the spice. Don't use the spice if you do not want anything like spicy, but it has a little bit of that kick. So these are easy. And they're delicious. And if you like chocolate and cinnamon, you're gonna wanna try them. Even if you've never had Mexican hot chocolate, even if you've never tried that combination, you're gonna like it. I've had this eyelash all day today that will not give me a break. I can't figure out where it is, and it keeps like making my eye not work really well. Okay, so we're gonna start with an egg. What I'm doing, I'm gonna actually tell you the ingredients of my full recipe. I decided to half it today. So I'm gonna tell you what the full is rather than what you see me doing. So listen to my words versus what I'm doing because I'm doing half. And I think it's easier to remember the whole because of the quantities. And sorry for my eye. It is like, that eyelash is bothering me. Okay, now I'm going to beat this egg. So 2 eggs. So we're using 2 eggs. Actually, you can tell me in the comments. Well, you can tell me in the comments if you want, if you'd rather me tell you the half or the whole. You're gonna have to multiply it by 2, and I think it's easier math to tell you the whole. So I'm gonna tell you the whole. It's 2 eggs, and if you like chocolate and cinnamon, put like it in the comments. If you've never had that combination, put never had it in the comments. I would love to know where you're watching from as well. So this is full recipe is 2 eggs. Now I'm going to add full recipe 10 tablespoons of melted butter. Full recipe 10 tablespoons of melted butter. And I'm gonna beat that, and then I'm going to add to that, and I'm gonna look, I have my full recipe right here so that I can not mix it up. But I'm going to add to that 1 1/4 cups of sweetener. So I'm using monk fruit because that's what we have here. Normally I use allulose monk fruit, but you can also use stevia and erythritol or any combination of that. So 1 1/4 cups of sweetener. And I want to mix that in until it's nice and creamy. I want to show you. It's like getting a little bit thicker, nice and creamy. And then I'm going to stop using my whisk because it's not gonna be nice and creamy anymore. It's gonna get into like the cookie batter, cookie dough element. So now I'm going to add, oh, I could have left it for a second. That's okay. I'm going to add a teaspoon, nope, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So tell me again where you're watching from in the comments. Also, if you like cookies, put cookies in the comments. If you like chocolate and cinnamon, put like it. If you've never had that combination, put never had it. All right, so half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then I'm going to mix it. And now I'm going to move to my spatula because I'm gonna add my cacao. So cacao, we're going to use, I wanna make sure I tell you since I'm making half of it, 3/4 cup of cacao in powdered cacao, like cacao powder. you can use cocoa powder if you have, I use Navitas usually, which is pure cacao, unrefined cacao. So you're using 3/4 cup. These are like super rich chocolatey cookies. And then we're adding the cinnamon, which is gonna be amazing. So this chocolate itself is super dark. This is from like one of those huge bins of cocoa. And there's no sugar or anything in it. It's unsweetened, 100% cacao. And it's really dark. So I'll show you in a second. I almost have it moved in. You wanna kind of push the clumps all over, so you can see in there there's still some clumps. So I'm gonna push those down and move those. Now these cookies, when you go to bake them, they're dark. So they're already dark. It's hard to kind of tell when they're exactly done, and it can be easy to overcook them. I don't wanna overcook them. Many times I've overcooked them and have dried them out a little bit too much. I want it a little bit undercook. I'd rather go on the undercook side versus overcook because I don't want them to be dry. So you want to take them when they're still a little bit soft, but you can kind of determine that, and best based a little bit on your preference, but I do prefer them a little, I mean, obviously the best is to be right at exactly the right space, but sometimes that's hard because they're so dark to tell exactly what that is. All right, it is, I almost have those. I have a couple of little clumps left that I want to move out. And this is a very like rich dough batter, like cookie dough. You can see already how thick it is because of the cacao, the cocoa. All right, now we're going to add to this. I'm gonna mix it in a second, but I'm gonna add a cup of almond flour. This is, it looks like this color because it's not blanched. And I'm going to add to that, hold on. So 3/4 cup of cacao powder, and then 2 cups of almond flour, and then of our baking soda, we're using a teaspoon. So baking soda, we're using a teaspoon. Baking soda is a teaspoon. And then pink salt, we're using a 1/2 teaspoon. Pink salt is a 1/2 teaspoon. And then, and this makes a lot of cookies. So the full recipe makes a lot of cookies. 1/2 teaspoon for pink salt, a teaspoon of baking soda. And now, again, hello, wherever you're watching from, tell me. I would love to say hi. And if you like cookies, put cookies. If you like chocolate and cinnamon combination, if you've had it before and you like it, put that you've had it. If you don't like it, put that you don't like it. If you've never had it, put that you've never had it. I would love to know. And let me...
We were waiting for the greeting party. No.
Yes. And then we're gonna add another couple ingredients. Okay. We're gonna add another couple ingredients. That's Amber. We're gonna add a tablespoon of cinnamon. A tablespoon of cinnamon. So let's see. Tablespoon of cinnamon. This is a lot of cinnamon because that's the point of these cookies. It's chocolate and cinnamon. So tablespoon of cinnamon. And I'm not mixing it yet with the, you can actually do that in a separate bowl if you want to. I don't, just because I'm lazy. But you could mix all your dry ingredients first or separately and then mix them. And then we are adding the 2 special ingredients that you can choose to opt out on. So if you're gonna opt out on extra spicy, like it has a little spice at the end of your throat, then put spice, or what do you want to say, hot, in the comments. If you don't, put no spice in the comments. So we're gonna use a pinch of cayenne pepper, and you can use a pinch of chili powder as well, or either or not at all. So tell me if you would add the pinch, put pinch in the comments if you would add the pinch of spice. So I'm gonna now mix my dry a little bit together so that they're a little bit better combined before I mix it with all my wet. And then I'm gonna mix it with all the the rich chocolatiness that I showed you a moment ago, because it is it's almost like fudge. The way that it's combined, it looks like fudge. It's very thick. All right, I have this one little clump of baking powder that's not separating. Okay, separate. Okay, there we go. So I have it all ready to go and mix together. And then I already have my oven preheated at 350 degrees. So now I'm just moving and connecting my almond flour with my the whole dry ingredients with the wet of the cacao. And I'm gonna push it all together. It doesn't look like it will combine, but it will. It will combine. All right, it's almost combined. It's getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. It's you can see that it's starting to change color. And we're gonna put it into circles that we're gonna flatten a little bit. Actually, we don't have to flatten them, but we're gonna make little circles, little balls, cookie dough balls, and put them on. I'm gonna use parchment today. You can use a silicone mat if you'd like, or you can use a greased cookie sheet, but I'm just gonna use parchment. Look, it's getting even better. It's almost there. It just has to be pressed in. Press, 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 press. It requires you to use a lot of muscles. I think that you can, while you change your eating habits, you can actually build a lot of bicep muscles just from cooking. It's a great, I think that that's sometimes where my biceps come from. It used to be from pushing my girls in the swings when they were little, but they can push themselves now, and so I don't push them in the swings, and I'm not getting biceps from the swing pushing anymore, but I think from cooking things like this that require mixing increases my muscles. All right, I have just a few on the bottom. Always underneath, there's some spots underneath that are making it challenge. Okay, almost. Almost. There we go. It is almost there. Oh, it's tiring. This is the hardest part of this recipe, is mixing the dry with the wet ingredients.
Yeah, dogs are weird because they think they have to protect the house, and then they have to fight for who's actually the head of the house.
Okay, I think I've got it.
It's so weird.
Now, we've got a very thick dough
Amy?
and batter. Here we go. I'm gonna show you just how connected it is. It's like a brick. It's super heavy. So this is the reason too why you wanna not overcook it, because it will dry out. It's so thick that it can dry out. I am gonna grab a spoon. I'm coming back, don't worry. Here I come. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a spoon and I'm going to make little dough balls. And you can use your hands, or you can just use a spoon or a cookie scoop. If you have one of those really cool, I have one at home. The cookie scoops that are like a ice cream scoop, those are great. So I'm gonna make a little chocolate ball. Oh yeah? Oh, Amber has one here, Soraya said. Soraya knows where everything is wherever we go. She's one who scopes it all out and keeps it in her mind. That's really big. Iona must picking. So here we go. So that's all that it is. It's going on my parchment paper cookie sheet. And then I'm gonna put it in the oven for, I gotta make sure I tell you the right thing for my recipe. This is how they come out. And it is for 10 minutes. So 10 minutes, and you might need to do it on both sides. So 10 minutes, check it. You could check it even a little bit before that. And then you've got them. So make sure to give me thumbs up, hearts, share this video, because you're gonna wanna make these cookies if you like the combination of cinnamon and chocolate. If you don't know if you like it, try it so you can see, because they are delicious. And then if you want that extra little spice, it is a great addition that is sometimes common in Mexican chocolate, hot chocolate. All right, that's it. So have a wonderful, wonderful night. from my house, well, Amber's house, to your kitchen, global flavors and healthy plates from around the world. Bye.